Day 8. I didn't answer the knock at the door. I sat in the dark with my hands over my mouth until the knocking stopped. When I finally looked out, the clearing was empty. I'm not sure what was worse, knowing something or someone was out there, or knowing it left. I spent the day on edge. Every creak of the cabin felt louder than my own breathing. My food is getting thin, my water too. I'll need to risk a longer trip soon. Day 9. I tried to hunt today. I saw a rabbit near the shed, but missed with the hatchet. The sound of the throw must have carried because 2 of them were wandering the clearing not long after. I hid inside and watched them shuffle around until dark. They don't leave, they linger. Day 10. The snow has slowed. The cold bites harder now. My stove wood is almost gone. I'll have to start pulling planks from the shed if I want heat. They'll hear the hammering, but freezing is worse. I keep thinking about the knock. Zombies don't knock, but what else is out there? Day 11. I gathered water from the creek again. This time one of them was kneeling in the shallows. Head dipped under the surface like it had drowned standing up. When it heard me, it pulled itself upright, water spilling from its mouth. I dropped the bucket and ran. I can't get more water from there, not unless I find a way to clear them out first. Day 12. My food is nearly gone. I ate the last of the rice tonight. There's still 1 can of beans, but after that, nothing. I thought about trying to make a snare trap for rabbits. I don't know if I have the skill to do it though. I keep hearing groans outside at night, more than before, at least half a dozen, maybe more. They don't leave when the sun comes up anymore. Day 13. I climbed back into the attic vent this morning. There's 7 of them now, all standing in the clearing, facing the cabin. Not moving, just waiting. Snowdrifts are building up against their legs, but they don't fall, they don't even sway. I don't think they're going anywhere. Day 14. This morning I woke to silence. No moans, no shuffling, nothing. I thought they had finally gone, so I opened the curtain just a crack. They're closer, half the distance to the cabin, all of them, and I don't know how much longer the door is going to hold. Day 15. I barely slept last night. Every time I closed my eyes, I pictured them pressing against the glass. When the wind rattles the shutters, I thought it was their hands. I'm exhausted, but I can't stop listening. I try to distract myself by going through the shed again. Found an old lantern and half a can of kerosene. It's not much, but it might buy me a few nights of light if I need it. I also found a pile of newspapers from last winter. Caught myself reading the headlines, trying to pretend the world hadn't ended. Feels like a lifetime ago. Day 16. I decided to test how close they really are. I pushed the door open just an inch and tossed a piece of wood into the clearing. One of them turned to shuffle towards the sound. The others followed, slowly, their feet dragging through the snow. I shut the door and waited. It took nearly 2 hours for them to wander back into place. They don't stop, they don't get tired, they just stand and they just wait. Day 17. The cold seeped into my bones today. My fingers are stiff even while I write this. I burned the last of the chair legs in the stove. Tomorrow I'll have to break down the table. I keep thinking about the food. The last can of beans is sitting on the counter like a loaded gun. I don't want to eat it too early, but I don't want to starve waiting for a miracle either. Tonight, I swear I heard footsteps in the snow that weren't dragging. Lighter, quicker. I froze and held my breath, but the sound faded. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I wanted to imagine it. Day 18. I climbed back into the attic vent again this morning. There's more of them now. Not 7, not even 10. At least 20. All of them facing the cabin. All of them silent. I whispered to myself up there, just to hear a voice. It scared me how strange my own voice sounded. I don't think the door will last. I don't think I will either. Day 19. I didn't sleep. Every sound outside rattled my skull like gunfire. When I finally drifted off, I dreamed of hands pushing through the walls. Woke up sweating and cold. I broke down the table for firewood. The noise echoed in the cabin, and I swore I heard movement outside. I kept the hatchet close, but nothing came. I forced myself to eat half the beans. Half today, half tomorrow. After that, I don't know. Day 20. I tried to build a snare with a rope. My hands fumbled with the knots. Everything feels clumsy when I'm this tired. I managed to sneak outside and set it near the tree line. I doubt it'll work. Later I peeked through the vent. There's more of them again. The 20 I counted before have become 30 or more. All in the clearing, all silent. The bodies sway in the wind, but their feet don't move. I don't know what they're doing out there, and I don't know how long I could pretend this cabin is safe. I thought I heard another knock tonight, softer than the first, almost polite. I didn't move a muscle until it stopped. Day 21. The snare didn't catch anything. The rope was frozen stiff when I checked it. My fingers went numb when I pulled it back in. On the way, I stepped on a branch, and the crack echoed like a gunshot. One of them turned. Then another. Then all of them. Their heads moved in unison, staring at me through the trees. I bolted back to the cabin and barred the door. My chest still aches from running. When the night came, they pressed closer. I could hear them brushing against the walls, their weight shifting the boards. The sound of the nails and wood makes my stomach twist. Day 22. I woke up to the sound of glass breaking. One of my windows, maybe more. The barricades are holding for now, but barely. I climbed into the attic with a lantern to see what I was dealing with. There were dozens, all crowded around the cabin, pressing in from every side. Their arms reaching up, crawling at the walls, their faces pale against the glass. And then I saw it. Not them, something else. A flicker of light deep in the woods. A fire. Someone's out there. For the first time in weeks, I wasn't sure if I was more afraid of the dead or the living. The cabin shuddered beneath me as something slammed against the door.